Say bye to the people.
Hi, YouTube. But y'all go follow me at Poppy Caesars, PAPI.CEEE.
I don't think it's got 3 E's, sweetheart.
CEE. Oh, I put 3 E's. Yeah, I just put the little thing right there.
I'm gonna drop his link in my description box.
No, she's gonna put it on the video right there. It's gonna be like
okay, all right,
right there. Boom. All right. Y'all be blessed. Slide in my DMs. My DMs are definitely open.
All right. Let's try this again. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I am so excited to be back on YouTube. If you are already subscribed to this channel, then you already know that I've been gone for a super long time. And also you probably noticed that my channel looks a lot different as well, and I'm going to explain all of that tea in this video. But before we even get started, go ahead and like this video. You know, if you're happy that your girl's back on YouTube, go ahead and like it. If you don't even know who I am and this is your first time watching one of my videos, go ahead and like it. If you're just happy that it's summertime once again and you got another chance to get summertime fine. Whatever the case may be, go ahead and like this video. And if you're not subscribed, just go ahead and subscribe, okay? Because I know you want to see me again. And with all that said, I'm gonna go ahead and jump right into the video. So if you're one of my original subscribers, one of the first things you probably noticed was, one, that this is the first video that I posted in about 5 months, and two, that I've changed the name of my channel. So if you didn't know, the original name of my channel was just my first and my middle name, Asia Lauren, but I recently changed the name of my channel to A Love Letter to Asia. So I know a lot of y'all probably like, why? I feel like just having my name, Asia Lauren, just was not big enough to show all that I want to encompass in this channel. So I just felt like I needed a name to match the energy, you know, the energy that I'm trying to bring to this channel. And there is a story behind why I chose the name A Love Letter to Asia. It definitely was not random. But in order for me to tell you that story, I had to start all the way at the beginning. And I mean, all the way, because I'm a Virgo and you know, every little detail matters. So of course the story starts with a boy. I know, how unoriginal, right? So I'm gonna start back at my freshman year of college. I'm currently going into my senior year of college, kinda. I'll explain that later too. So yeah, fast forward, this is not a ex-boyfriend story, this is not an ex-boyfriend rant, this is not even like really about him, but I had to tell you this story in order to be able to tell you how I got on this new level of self-love and just, you know, the name change and everything like that. So me and him dated all of my freshman year of college, and going into the summer we broke up. And when we did break up, you know how usually like the friends that you have in that relationship half go with you and half go with him? Yeah, well, 100% of the friends that I had in that relationship went with him. So I ended up losing my boyfriend and all of my friends, all of my, you know, friends going into my sophomore year of college. So I think it's pretty safe to say that, you know, I went into my sophomore year extremely depressed. I wasn't really interested in school. I really wasn't interested in anything. Like my behavior was very different. I wasn't really eating. I ended up losing like 25 pounds just because, not because I was purposefully starving myself or anything like that, but I just wasn't hungry. Like I just didn't feel like eating. Like, you know, I slept all the time. It was just a mess. Because again, this is my first breakup, first boyfriend. Also, I have to maintain a 3.25 for my scholarship, and I had a 3.26 GPA at the end of my freshman year. Like exactly what I needed. I had this newfound insecurity about my academic abilities because, you know, in high school, I was that 4.0 student. I had a 4.0, president of Beta Club, National Honor Society, French Honor Society, Spanish Honor Society, like all the honor societies, I was in them. That was just who I was in high school. So this huge change of going from that to having barely what I need for a scholarship, like that just, you know, it didn't feel like that was me. So for something that I really put 100% of my time and effort and belief in, for that just completely fail, and to fail so quickly, it was really hard for me to deal with. Like I think that really what I was dealing with sophomore years, I just really felt like a failure 100%. Like everything that I worked hard for freshman year had failed in my opinion. So I'm dealing with all of this sophomore year and I'm just in a really bad place. But every single fall we have a career fair, and I didn't go my freshman year, but sophomore year I was like, hey, you know, why not just stick your feet in there. I wasn't really planning on getting an internship or a job offer at all. It was just trying to put my name out there, just go through the motions of writing up a resume and, you know, talking to people and stuff like that. Also, for those of you who don't know, I am a mechanical engineering major, and the school that I go to is actually an engineering school. So basically all the people that came to the career fair were looking for engineers. But I really had one main company that I wanted to talk to. I learned all about their company and had some talking points, and really, you know, had geared my resume towards this particular company. So fast forward, I ended up getting a first interview with this company. After I went through the first interviewing process, I got a call that I made it through to the second interviewing process. And it turns out that the place that I had to interview was back home. So I came home, I did my second interview, and as soon as I left the interview, like, I knew I got it. I had studied so much for the interview. I was ready for all of their questions, and I knew I had made a good impression. I think I took the interview like on a Thursday, and by that following Monday, like, I got the call that I had gotten that position. It was not an internship, it was for a co-op position. And for those of you who don't know, a co-op is, it's like an internship, but it's during the semester. So instead of working during the summer, you work during an actual academic semester. My particular co-op is for 3 alternating semesters. I received the job for spring 2018, so I worked spring 2018. They gave me the summer semester off. I worked fall 2018. I returned to school this semester, which was spring 19, and my last rotation will be this summer. So in total, I ended up taking a year off from school. After I got my co-op, things started to look up. I was very hopeful about my my co-op position. And I was just ready to just, you know, take a break from school. A lot of things like on campus were just really petty. People had so much to say about me and like the previous relationship and just stuff in general, and it all came back to me. What you have to say about me is not going to make me, you know, cry or stop what I'm doing, but it was more annoying. Like, it's like I'm already dealing with my own insecurity. I just went through this bad breakup, I've lost all my friends, and now like I'm having to leave school for a year. Like, it was just a lot of changes at one time, and so just the constant, like, you know, the constant bickering and like hearing just constant things about myself, like, was just really annoying. So I finished out the semester. I ended up having a 3.0 GPA, which brought my cumulative GPA down to a 3.16. So since I was leaving for my co-op, I just had to bring my GPA back up to a 3.25 whenever I returned, because whenever I returned would be the second half of my year, because I only finished one half of my sophomore year before I started my co-op. So I go to the co-op. I'm really not expecting anything. When I tell you, I was so shook. I tell you, this co-op turned out to be the best thing that I have ever done for myself, like, and I mean ever. And that's the craziest thing about it, is that I know that if I had still been with my boyfriend that I was with freshman year, if I had still been dating him sophomore year, I know I wouldn't have taken my co-op, because I was so all in that I would not have wanted to be away from him for a whole year. And when I tell you, this co-op was such a godsend. Like, it was such a God placement. Just that, you know, where you're not expecting it, you don't really deserve it, but it's everything you need. So I got there. I've met so many wonderful mentors at this position, people that just spoke life over me. I've never really had that before. I mean, of course, my parents, you know, my parents are like the most supportive parents. Like, you know, my mom and my dad always rave about me and my abilities, but just to have someone else, like just people in my life, it's not going to benefit them any to say these things about me. They're just constantly telling me how intelligent I am, how far they see me going in the future, just completely just giving off so much love and support. It really made a huge difference. And then also with this job, I got to travel. So I had never been on a plane, and I had never been out of the Southeast. So I got to fly. That's a huge barrier breaker, because, you know, if you've never been on a plane, you really can't picture yourself on a plane, which means you never picture yourself going too far from where you live, which means you picture yourself in the same spot forever, which I think that subconsciously I had kind of done that to myself. Like, I'm gonna be in the same city for the rest of my life. I don't know if anybody else has ever dealt with that, but that was the mindset that I had. So being able to go to these different places in the world, it made a huge difference. It put me in a completely different headspace that I know that I would not have been at if I had stayed to school for another semester. So this job, honestly, like, when I tell you, it saved, I don't want to say my life, because I don't want to be like dramatic, but the school that I'm at was my #1 choice of schools. Like, I would not want to be anywhere else. This was, I fought to be at this school. I fought for this scholarship. If I had lost my scholarship, like, I really would have been in a very dark place. It was exactly what I need, exactly when I needed it. So fast forward, I'm gonna actually get to the part where I tell you why I changed the name of my channel. So like I said, I had a break over the summer. I worked that spring, and then I had a break over the summer before I continue with my next co-op rotation in the fall. So over the summer, I took 2 classes, an American literature class that I was gonna eventually have to take, and I took general chemistry. So that American literature class, when I tell you, it ended up being the best class. Like, when I tell you, it was just so many things that God was doing for me back to back to back. So what I forgot to mention was, which is probably a big part of the story, me and my ex had actually gotten back together in spring of, you know, when I went back and did my co-op. We got together for a couple months, you know, because in my head I was just like, let's give it a second chance, because, you know, the first time it ended so abruptly. But after we got back together, it was very clear that it was not going to work. And I'm a very, usually one and done, but definitely two and done. So I was just kind of pressed about that. But really, I was more excited because with the newfound confidence that I got in my co-op, I had finally decided to start my YouTube channel, which is something I've always wanted to do, but just never had the courage to do, or never thought that I was, you know, good enough of a makeup artist to do. So I was starting my YouTube channel this summer. I was taking 2 classes. And since I was taking a break from my co-op, I was back working at the restaurant that I've been working at since I was like 16. So, and there I was working like 40 hours a week just because we were short staffed. So I'm doing all of this summer. Okay. My American literature class, I ended up having the coolest teacher, Dr. Kaiser. She was the coolest teacher I've ever had in my entire life. She would break down each individual story, and she would just go through in detail what the author meant. Like, I don't know, like, she was just very passionate about what she did. So I absolutely loved her class. And so at the end of the class, we had to do this project called a nature project, and basically to be about your relationship with something that wasn't made by man. Like, it had to be about a relationship you had with something in nature, something that, you know, basically like God created, or that men had no effect over. You know, a lot of people, they did about their relationship with their dog. Some people did like their relationship with cooking. Like, people just did a lot of stuff that trying to pass the class. But for me, like, again, English is, or literature is something that I'm actually passionate about. So like, I went like all in for this project. I just felt like God had been moving in my life so incredibly much that I just really wanted to take some time and just reflect on that. So I did my paper on my relationship with love itself. I know, sounds corny, but I'm corny, okay? I'm corny, okay? To me personally, I believe that God is love, so he created love. Like, that's not something that man could have created. So basically in the paper, I just talked about how my relationship with love had changed. I didn't want the love that I have for myself to be affected by how somebody else loves me ever again. I think that it's great to love someone, but you have to do it in a healthy way. And most of you probably know the relationships that you have early on in your life are not the healthiest, because you don't really know how to love yourself yet, let alone another person. And I quickly learned that you can't love them more than you love you. And I know that I had definitely, you know, gotten to a point where like, I love this boy more than me. Like, I was focused more on his needs than on mine. You know, I was catering to him for everything, and I was really, you know, sacrificing a lot for myself. And basically I just wrote my paper on how I never want that to happen again. It was just a huge release for me. These emotions that I've been feeling for months, it was just a huge like reflection on all that God had done in my life in that past year, and just getting it all out, because it was just so much, you know. And so the title of that paper was A Love Letter to Asia. And so that, of course, is what inspired the name change for my channel. Fast forward, after the summer, I go back and work my next rotation in the fall, and it's time for me to go back to school. Again, I'm a mechanical engineering student, and I have to make at least a 3.5 the next semester, because again, my GPA at the end of my first semester, my sophomore year, was a 3.0. So to get an average of a 3.25 by the end of the semester, I have to at least get a 3.5 GPA. That's like a lot of work. I'm a big believer in you have to respect the season that you're in. I had already made a commitment to my school and to my parents for this scholarship. Like, that was the thing that I had to handle first. So there was no way for me to be able to study adequately enough and do YouTube. So that's why I've been gone for 5 months. It was very difficult to put it down. I felt like I was putting down my dream for 5 months straight. So I didn't film any YouTube videos. I was in the engineering building every single day. You know, I didn't go out. I didn't go to any parties last semester. I didn't do anything but school last semester. And I finished with a 3.7 GPA. But again, that was by the grace of God, which brought my cumulative GPA up to a 3.29. So this is the first time in my college career where my GPA is not right at what I needed to survive, you know, like to be able to stay at the school. The whole time that I was focused on school, like, I was still jotting down ideas for my YouTube. I was still putting in work. Like, you have to know that just because you're not actively running around town putting out flyers, just because you're not actually booking gigs, if you are sitting down and you were putting pen to paper to say, hey, this is what I want to accomplish, hey, this is what I need to do, hey, I need to contact this man to help me with this, you are still putting in work. But sometimes you have to respect that your season is just to get ideas on paper. So that's what I did the entire time that I was gone. I feel like I've always put myself in a box, like I have to be one thing or another. And I think that that was the internal turmoil once I got to college, and it's like, you're an engineering major but you love makeup. I think that that was where a lot of like the insecurity came from, because it's like I'm trying to put myself in a box of I'm this thing or I'm this thing, but really I'm all the things. I'm everything. I am it. Like there's so many other things that I am, and I want to be all of them. Like I don't want to put myself in a box. I don't want to just be one thing. Like I want to express every part of me. And so that's what a love letter to Asia is about. Love letter to Asia is literally just that. It's a love letter to myself every day. Like this channel is such a blessing. Like it was birthed out of, you know, me finally getting the confidence in myself as a makeup artist, because I found like a newfound love in myself. So this channel is, I think, a love letter to myself. And the one thing that I really have realized is that I want every day of my life to be a love letter to myself. I want anything that I participate in to be out of love for myself. It's really just about helping everybody find their love letter, whatever it is, whatever going, you know, completely crazy and 100% in for yourself looks like. That's what this channel is about. That's not only what I want to experience, but that's what I want to help other people to find and to experience themselves. So yeah, so I spent a lot of time on the details because, you know, I'm a Virgo and I love the details. But yeah, so that's really it for this video. I really want to say again that I love y'all, because the few of you that were here when I left, I will say that y'all still here when I came back, which really means a lot. I'm so excited about the growth of this channel. I'm so excited about connecting more with you guys, and I'm very excited to continue with the makeup videos. So yeah, so I think that that is all. I know I've talked y'all's ear off, but thank you for staying and tuning in. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Also comment down below what you liked about this video, and also, you know, any summer plans you have or anything you want to accomplish this summer. And also make sure you subscribe to my channel, because I know you want to see the girl. I know you want to see me. So make sure you subscribe to this channel and hit the bell right next to it so that you're notified whenever I post. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye. I gotta go because my camera's literally recording right now.
Oh, this is the bloopers.
this is the bloopers.
Come on, Asia subscribers.
Come on now.
Ring.